everybody! This week we're going to talk about one of Elijah's miracles. It's about water and salt. This is probably not a very familiar story to most of us, so let's see if you've ever heard this before. So listen to the story. Elisha had just taken over from Elijah as the prophet of God. He went to the city of Jericho. The people of Jericho came to him and complained that the water was bad and the land was producing poor crops. A good water supply was so important to the people as they lived in a hot, dry land. Elisha gave a strange command. "Bring me a new bowl," he said, "and put salt in it." So they brought him a new bowl full of salt. Elisha then took the bowl to the local water spring. He then threw the salt into the water and said, "This is what the Lord says. I have healed this water. Never again will it cause death or make the land unproductive." When the people tasted the water, it was fresh and clean. And from that point on, the water remained pure, just as Elisha had said. So the people needed clean water so they could live there and farm and have good crops and have everything they need. So God told Elisha to go purify the water with this salt. So salt in the Bible means comes up quite a few times. So we, as Jesus said, are the salt of the earth is one other time that salt comes up in the Bible. So salt in this time was really valuable. It was really expensive. People really needed it to preserve their food and to just make their lives a little bit better. So salt was really valuable. And when Jesus says we are the salt of the earth, he's saying we're all valuable and that we all are put in the world to show God's message. And that's kind of what this story is doing too. So Elijah uses the salt to purify the water. He is putting God into the water, and it's helping all the people there, and all the people are also then know about God and will continue to spread God's message in the world. So this story is all about how once we know God, we should share God with others. So let's go ahead and make our craft. For this craft, you're going to want a sheet of paper, a fun color construction paper, blue tissue paper, a glue stick, and some cotton balls. So I'm going to take my background paper and I'm going to take my tissue paper and I'm just going to tear some strips of my blue tissue paper. So this is going to be our waterfall. So I'm going to tear my strips pretty small and skinny. Some of these bigger ones I want to tear in half. So then once I have a good number of strips, I'm going to put some glue and some lines on my paper. I don't want my entire paper to be covered in glue. That's just going to hold the tissue paper down a whole lot. So I'm just going to put lines of glue down my paper. Then I'm going to take my strips of tissue paper and I'm going to kind of twist them up a little bit. Then I want to glue them down. But what's happening when I'm twisting it is I'm kind of making a little bit of a three-dimensional picture, aren't I? The tissue paper will come off the background paper a little bit, and it just kind of shows the motion of the water. It makes the water look like it's flowing. Maybe you might have to add a little bit of glue here and there just to make your tissue paper stick a little bit better. But here, the water's starting to look like it's flowing. So I'm going to put down the rest of my tissue paper. You can add as much or as little tissue paper as you want, however you want your water to look. So I just kind of used a whole piece of tissue paper when I was doing mine, but you can use more if you want, or you can use a little bit less. So here's my flowing water. So now that I have my flowing water, I'm going to take my color and I'm going to cut out what looks like a half circle, or maybe the letter U, with the letter U all filled in the middle, maybe. And this is Elijah's bowl of salt. So then I'm gonna glue my salt. I'm gonna make it overlap my river just a tiny bit. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on the edge, and then put glue on my paper here. And this is Elijah's bowl of salt. So then, I'm gonna have him pouring the salt into the river. So you just put a little bit of glue on your cotton balls. And cotton balls are your grains of salt. So I'm going to put some at the top. And then going down into my paper. And then maybe on your paper, you want to write what the story was. So maybe you want to write, Elijah purifies the water with salt, or something like that. Just so you maybe remember where the idea for this story came from. So then my bowl kind of got cut off, so here is how that looks. And then you can glue down as much salt as you want to show I'm pouring the salt into the water. I hope you had fun making your craft this week. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in Sunday school. Bye!